or these beings that show up and administer healing from God, then we have something. So it's about having these encounters and being vocal about them, not being scared. What about the imagination? What about, which is a big thing, what about the people who are making this stuff up as they go? I'm convinced even some of our Christian greats, I'll throw 𝓅𝑒𝓈𝓈𝒃 out there. I think a lot of this stuff is he kind of gets the vision, he puts it out there, and it's kind of, okay, Lord, what are you saying? Okay, here it is. This is what it looks like. What else, God? Okay, this is the diagrams. I kind of think that they're making it up as they go, but who is to say that that does not become their doctrinal truth? And the people who follow that and they try those steps and they try to meditate and they chant. The first time I've seen anybody chanting 𝑦𝑜𝓃𝑒𝑚 was 𝓅𝑒𝓈𝓈𝒃. I seen a video of 𝓅𝑒𝓈𝓈𝓃 at a church got the whole church chanting 𝑦𝑜𝓃, which is the name of God, chanting this, and it was beautiful. And I do it now, right? We get into sessions where we do it, but it comes where like, okay, what if they're making it up as they go? And they very well could be, right? And in the Christian circles, the New Age circles, Corey Goode, David Wilcock, these big names, creating content, and they got followers and people believe it. But as a man thinketh in his heart, so shall it be. If you think that, there's people who get in the shower, right? And they'll take a shower and they'll imagine I do this, all of the negative energy washing off of them when the water hits them, and all of the negative energy, the negative stuff for the day. And they believe it in their mind when they get out the shower. Those sins and those negative ideas have been washed down the drain. There's a scripture in the Bible that says his mercies are new every morning. And I've been in a place where I would maybe commit sin or have these unconfessed sins in my life, and I would confess it before the Lord, and I would wake up the next morning and feel like that slate was washed clean. And I may have carried that sin all day. Even if I've confessed it, I still feel like it's lingering, like maybe I'm dirty. But that next day, when that sun rises, his mercies are new every morning. I feel like I have a fresh touch of his mercy, right? I don't know if I do. I don't know if my sins and all that stuff washed off of me and I've received clean energy or whatever in the spirit or quite physically. But in my mind, I did. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. And I lived my life, and I made decisions based off of those feelings, whether they're ungodly, whether I made it up. But to me, it was real. And there's people who are doing that in churches. You have crazy doctrines in church that you believe God, that is ordained from God, and God ain't said a damn thing close to that. But churches have passed it down about tithing and about cursing you if you don't tithe, and you think God really speaking that to you and you're living your life. If you don't give that money, then God's going to curse you. I've been through that, and I thought that was real, and I made my decisions and based my life upon, if I don't give, then God is going to take it, because pastors have told me that. God never said anything close to that, but it became real to me, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. That's why we're supposed to be truth seekers. That's why we're supposed to get in the word and know what God says, and test it and try it, and think about lofty things that can help us out, to kind of don't dwell upon all of the nasty negativity, because it's out there. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. Whatever you entertain, garbage in, garbage out. That's why I like to talk about prayer. That's why I like to talk about meditation and sins being washed away and all of this stuff. Because as you think it, as you believe it, I went on a New Age show. I don't even want to call it a New Age show. I went on a show with a guy, and he interviewed me, and he was drilling me about the Christian thing, this Jesus. Well, people say Jesus never existed. People say this, and he was just made up. What do you say? I said, I live my life like he did, and it does something. That story, if he never, I talk about allegory in the Bible and the Old Testament, and if they prove that, hey, we made this up, and there's people trying to say that we made the Bible up and it's a Vatican ploy to control the world, and all texts are made up to throw people off. I live my life like it happened, and there's power in that story. There's power to think that if I confess my sins, that he is faithful and just to forgive me. And you're telling me it doesn't happen, even if it doesn't change anything. There's power when I live my life in this way, that it's already happened. That's the whole Bible. That's all of your occult, esoteric text you study, whatever. If it's real to you, you create it as you speak it. and it creates your reality, all of it. And that's how all of this works. If you don't believe it, it's not going to work. Jesus, the Son of God, made manifest in human form, walked into towns to heal people. Man, that's Jesus. Man, he's a carpenter. Man, he's a carpenter's son. Jesus, we know Jesus. He can't heal nobody. Jesus walked into towns and was rendered powerless. Couldn't heal people. A prophet is without honor save in his hometown. Then he goes into other cities where these people are hungry. They're thirsty for truth. They're looking for God. Oh, Jesus is coming. I've heard stories about this guy. I've heard stories, man. I don't know who he is, but I've heard stories. And I'm desperate, man. I need God. I'm desperate. Maybe he's got something for me. If only I can touch the hem of his garment. Maybe this blood issue that I have, I've been bleeding internally my whole life. Maybe if I touch the hem of his garment, I could be healed. I don't know, but let me try it. And they believed it and they tried it and it worked unto them. Everybody said, what are you doing? Jesus is busy. He's dealing with the rich people or whoever right now. Get back, stay back. This woman reached through the crowd, touched the hem of his garments, and it was rendered unto her because of her faith. And that's what it takes to please God. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. I believe that this is a faith game, man. We can't prove this stuff. We have these encounters, we have these experiences, and we can go on for days. And we're trying to make sense of it. We're trying to find other people. We have stories in the Bible. We have stories in books taken out of the Bible. And we're trying to make sense of this stuff. And all these other churches and denominations claim to have it figured out. And this is the way. That's the way. No, this is the way. They're lying. This is the way. And we're all trying to make sense of it all, man. But it is that it's moving from that faith to a place of knowing God and knowing Jesus within. However you want to explain it, whatever it is to you. I'm going to tell you what it is to me. He said, who do you say I am? I don't give a damn what these people said I am. Who do you say I am? And that's what he's asking each and every one of us. That's where the power is. I don't care what they say, what they said I did. I don't care if they said I existed. What do you say? You exist. You're the Son of God. You changed my life. What's your story? That's your testimony. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast segment, be sure to listen to the entire episode by clicking the video to your right. Also, we are on iTunes. You can download the MP3 versions as well. Be sure to subscribe for future episodes.